Welcome class. This lecture is about developmental psychology. So let us start with what is developmental psychology. So developmental psychology is the branch of psychology that studies intra-individual changes and inter-individual changes and how these two things are interrelated. This is developmental psychology. And some developmental psychologists study developmental change covering the lifespan. But by doing this, they attempt to give a complete picture of growth and decline by studying the lifespan development. They are trying to give a complete picture of growth and decline. There are other developmental psychologists who only studies a segment of lifespan. They studies only a segment of lifespan. So this segment could be the childhood, or it can be the adulthood, or it will be the old age. So they will be taking only a segment and they will be studying about that. So the main aim of this unit or this entire class is to understand or is to seek answers for many fascinating questions about developing person. So our main objective or the aim is to understand or to answer many fascinating questions. We need to answer to many fascinating questions, and these fascinating questions will be about a developing person. So how do we seek these answers? That will be through reviewing theories, methods, discoveries, and many practical accomplishment of modern developmental sciences. So this is an introductory chapter, and this introductory chapter will be laying the groundwork for remainder of the units by addressing important issues about the nature of human development and how knowledge about development is gained. So what does it, so what are the things we are going to discuss, or how it will be laying a groundwork for the remainder of unit by explaining what does it mean to say people develop over time. The develop over time it explains, and how is your experience of development, and how different is that from the developing persons in past eras or in other culture, and even from your siblings. And in the beginning, I introduced like we will be looking into a scientific study. So, why scientific study of human development is necessary? And what are the strategies? So, what are the strategies or what are the research method that used by the scientists to study the development of children and adolescents? All right, let us start with the important concepts of human development. So that important concepts of human development which we are going to cover in this lecture or in this chapter. So that will be what is developmental psychology and who is a developmental psychologist. And there are many uneven emphasis of developmental studies. These uneven emphasizes are nothing but in the earlier studies it was like the developmental psychology was most probably concentrated on child development. It was even known as child development, and later on it was based on the requirement of that present scenario, that current scenario they were that emphasis was shifted. So why this uneven emphasis was there on this developmental studies, that we will be discussing, and what were those uneven emphasizes. Then we will be discussing about nature of development, then evolutionary perspective of development, and genetic foundation and genetic and chromosomal abnormalities, and physical, cognitive, and social development. So when we discuss about this physical, cognitive, and social development, we even discuss about what are the factors that influences, the factor that affect, or the factors that contributes to this development. So these are the important concepts which we are going to discuss. So let us start with what is development. Before we understand or try to learn what is developmental psychology, we try to understand what is development. So there on this slide, you can see the definition for development. So the development refers to systematic continuities and changes in the individual that occur between conception and death. It is nothing but a systematic continuities, a systematic continuities. And when that happens, that these changes in individual over a course of life, and this over a course of life is like conception and death. So the conception is nothing but the process where a sperm merges with the egg, and that is called as conception. So the systematic continuities and the changes in an individual over the course of life is known as development. So in the definition, there are words like systematic and continuities. So these words gives a precise explanation of the definition about development. So by describing changes as systematic, so in the definition, the change has been described with the word of systematic and continuities. So what does it exactly mean to say? It is a systematic change. So by describing changes as systematic, it implies that they are orderly, patterned, and relatively enduring. So, since it is enduring, we can call that so that temporary mood swings and other transitory changes in our appearance, thought, and behavior are excluded. So, here we are saying it as systematic, and the systematic is nothing but it says it is relatively enduring. Since it is relatively enduring, we can claim it as those temporary mood swings and other transitory changes in our appearance, thought, and behavior are excluded when we say it as systematic. And if development represent the continuities and changes, so these continuities and changes which represents in development is individual experiences from womb to tomb. That individual who experiences his experiences or our experience from womb to tomb is represented as continuities. And when these changes or when this developmental sciences refers to the study of these phenomena, which is considered as multidisciplinary, which is considered as multidisciplinary. So why it is considered as multidisciplinary? Because the changes or the continuities in changes can be defined as that a person experiences from the womb to tomb. So that is when we study, when the developmental sciences refers to this study in this phenomena, which is multidisciplinary. And the developmental science refers to the study of these phenomena are multidisciplinary enterprises. Although the developmental psychology is the largest of these disciplines, many biologists, sociologists, anthropologists, educators, physicians, and even historians share an interest in developmental continuity and change, and even they have contributed in the important ways to our understanding of both human and animal development. Since the development is multidisciplinary, we use the term developmentalist to refer any scholar, regardless of the discipline, who seeks to understand the developmental process. So what causes us to develop? So what causes us to develop? So the causes us to develop, we can call it as maturation and learning. So maturation, as everybody knows, the maturation can be defined as any developmental changes in the body or behavior that result from aging process rather than from learning, injury, illness, or some other life experiences can be called as maturation. And the other process of this development can be called as learning. So the learning is the process through which our experiences, procedure, relatively permanent change in our feeling, thoughts, and behavior can be called as learning. So these are the two causes. So these are the two factors which will be influencing our development. So this is an introduction to developmental psychology. So in the next class, we are going to discuss about the nature of development.